Hey everybody, Matthew Hollis here with the 365 days of film reviews that I'm doing. I'm on day 3 already, and today I'm reviewing The Hateful Eight. We just went and saw it as a family today on my today's my birthday, and Tarantino's one of my favorite directors, so being able to go see that film today was kind of a lucky experience. Basically, The Hateful Eight is it's a 3-hour kind of Western epic, and if you know Tarantino, he's really into films. Like I am, way more than I am though. He's really into film. So for him, he really wanted to make a movie a lot like, you know, the older and Western movies like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you know. Any of John Ford's movies like Stagecoach and stuff like that. He wanted to make a movie kind of like that, and he got kind of close with Django, but Django was really a lot more of a Tarantino style, and not to say that The Hateful Eight isn't a Tarantino movie. It's got a ton of, you know, great dialogue and stuff that you're used to seeing with Quentin Tarantino, but it also had kind of a Western-y feel to it for a while. I mean, the first act of the movie it takes a while to get going. I mean, we were sitting down and it was about an hour into it before it really started to click for me. And I'm not really used to that with a Tarantino movie. Normally they're not a slow burn like that. If you've seen his films, you know that he normally likes to get right into it really fast. And they're sometimes kind of fast paced and stuff like that. But this film had kind of a slow burn to it. It really didn't feel that much in the first act like a Tarantino movie. But once where the intermission would be in the 70mm cut of the film was, he just kind of all of a sudden it made a switch into that Tarantino style. And not to say the dialogue wasn't Tarantino, like I said. It's very Tarantino. It's very great written dialogue. The characters all speak, you know, great dialogue, and the movie's funny like most of his movies. So when you're watching it, there's tons of kind of dark humor or dark comedy in there like he normally does. And once it went into the second act, and especially the third act, the movie started to really become a Quentin Tarantino film. And I won't spoil any of it for you guys, obviously, but it gets pretty violent and pretty bloody, obviously, and that part I really didn't enjoy. What I didn't like about it, and this is really difficult for me because I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, is the film really didn't have any relatable characters, in my opinion. You know, when the movie really started to get going and there really started to become, you know, those stress-filled moments. I know if you guys have seen Inglourious Basterds or Django Unchained, there's those moments where it's really tense. And then the reason that it's tense is because you actually care about the characters that are involved. As where with this movie kind of being more of an ensemble movie, there wasn't the tenseness, I didn't at least feel when it was there, when the scenes really started to come into their own. And they were supposed to be tense, but they just weren't, in my opinion, because a lot of the characters I really wasn't attached to. So them being in a dangerous situation, I wasn't really worried whether or not they were killed because I wasn't really attached to them at that point. So that was one of my only real gripes with the film, and the acting in it was incredible. Obviously, Samuel L. Jackson was great. Pretty much everybody in the movie was good, and it's a ton of Tarantino's normal cast, and he brought back a ton of people that haven't been in his films in a long time. You know, a lot of the Reservoir Dogs cast is in the movie, and that's all the way back in the early 90s, so that was really cool to see all those people and stuff like that. And the movie had a couple of surprises in it, and I obviously won't spoil those for you guys, so I definitely recommend you go see the film. I would give it like a 7. Is somewhere in that range, which is low for a Tarantino movie for me, because most of his movies, in my opinion, are incredible. I mean, Pulp Fiction is, it's always a toss-up between Pulp Fiction and The Good and the Bad and the Ugly as my favorite movie that I've ever seen. Those are pretty much my 2 favorite films. So for this movie to be kind of a disappointment for me, especially going into it expecting so much, and I think that might be why I've been let down a little bit by it, is that, you know, I went in expecting maybe too much, and that's something, you know, you could really learn from as far as hyping stuff up and, you know, going into it with too high of expectations. So this is just my quick review of the movie. I don't want this to go too long, but what I'm going to do is I want to sit down and kind of do a longer 10-minute, really well-edited review for you guys that I'll post on Facebook that you guys will be able to see, and I'll post it on my Twitter and on my blog, of course, that you guys can see. But I just want to do a really quick review of my thoughts right after I went and seen it. So I really appreciate you guys getting on here and sharing it out. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. So take care, guys. I'll be back here again tomorrow. Hopefully not as late. I'm pretty late tonight because the movie was 3 hours. I mean, we went and saw it at 2 and just got out of it an hour or so ago. So I just want to give you guys a quick review on it and I thought it was a pretty great movie, and I'll probably watch it again and I might change my opinion on it. You know, maybe I missed something, but I wasn't really relating to any of the characters, so when they were in dangerous situations, I didn't really feel the tenseness that Tarantino was really trying to have happen. So once again, I appreciate you guys getting on here. Thank you so much for supporting me in this mission to watch 365 films and review all 365 of them in this whole entire year that I'm doing this. So I love you and I appreciate you guys. And thanks again.